Triple H mourns the passing of Charlotte Flair in a tragic car accident. Good day, WWE Extreme family. What if I told you that the most powerful voice in WWE went quiet? Not because the crowd stopped chanting, but because the entire wrestling world stopped breathing. This is not a rumor. This is not clickbait energy. This is one of those moments where the ring lights feel dimmer, the entrance music feels slower, and even the bravest superstars are suddenly reminded that life does not follow a script. Before we go any further, do me a quick favor. If you love bold WWE stories, sharp breakdowns, and fearless takes you will not hear anywhere else, hit that subscribe button and click the notifications bell icon right now. Trust me, you do not want to miss what is coming next on WWE Extreme. Now let us talk about the moment that sent shockwaves through the entire WWE Universe. Triple H, the man who has stared down legends, rebuilt empires, and carried the weight of WWE on his shoulders, stepped forward with tears in his eyes to mourn the passing of Charlotte Flair. A tragic car accident, a sudden loss, a name that feels impossible to say in the past tense. Charlotte Flair, the queen, the measuring stick, the woman who redefined what greatness looks like inside that ring. And instantly, everything changed. When the news broke, it did not feel real. Social media froze. Fans refreshed their screens like they were waiting for a kickout at 2.5. Wrestlers backstage stood in silence. No trash talk, no music, no egos, just disbelief. Because Charlotte Flair was not just another superstar. She was a force of nature. She was the standard everyone else chased and often failed to reach. Triple H did not come out as the authority figure. He did not come out as the executive. He came out as a man who had watched Charlotte grow, evolve, and dominate. His voice cracked as he spoke about her passion, her discipline, and her unmatched drive. This was not corporate grief. This was personal. This was raw. This was a reminder that behind every larger-than-life character is a human being with dreams, struggles, and a legacy that cannot be replaced. And that legacy is massive. Charlotte Flair did not simply win championships. She turned them into expectations. Every time she stepped into the ring, the pressure doubled for everyone else. She was the kind of superstar who made good matches feel average and great matches feel historic. Whether you loved her confidence or hated her arrogance, you paid attention. And in wrestling, attention is everything. But here's where the story gets deeper. Triple H talked about how Charlotte carried the weight of her last name without letting it crush her. Imagine walking into WWE with a Flair name. That is not a shortcut. That is a spotlight that never turns off. One misstep, and critics would say she was handed everything. One victory, and people would say it was destiny, not effort. Charlotte fought through that noise every single night. She did not ask for permission to be great. She demanded respect by outworking everyone in the room. And now, that voice is gone. The locker room reaction tells you everything you need to know. Superstars who were once rivals stood shoulder to shoulder. Women who battled Charlotte in brutal matches shared stories about how she pushed them to be better. Even legends from past eras spoke about how proud they were to see the women's division reach heights they once dreamed of. Charlotte Flair was not just part of the evolution. She was one of the pillars holding it up. Triple H made it clear. This loss does not just hurt WWE. It hurts wrestling. And let us be honest here. WWE has dealt with tragedy before. The industry has lost icons, pioneers, and heroes. But this one feels different. This one hits like a sudden finisher out of nowhere. Charlotte was not someone fans were saying goodbye to. She was someone fans were still expecting to see main eventing, breaking records, and redefining greatness for years to come. That is what makes this so heavy. Triple H spoke about the responsibility WWE now carries. Honoring Charlotte Flair is not about a graphic or a tribute video. It is about protecting what she built. It is about continuing to elevate women's wrestling, not as a trend, but as a standard. Charlotte believed the women's division should never be an afterthought. It should be a main attraction, a headline, a reason fans tune in early and stay late. And you can already feel the ripple effects. Matches feel more emotional. Promos feel more personal. Every time a superstar steps through that curtain, There's an unspoken challenge hanging in the air. Do not waste this moment. Do not waste this platform. Charlotte Flair raised the bar. Now everyone else has to decide if they are brave enough to reach it. Here is the part that really gets you. Triple H shared that Charlotte never backed down from pressure. She welcomed it. She thrived in it. When the lights were brightest, when the stakes were highest, that is when she smiled the most. That confidence was not arrogance. It was preparation meeting opportunity. And that mindset is something WWE wants every superstar to carry forward. Think about it like this. Charlotte Flair was not just a chapter in WWE history. She was a blueprint. And losing a blueprint does not mean the building stops. It means the builders have to honor the design while creating something strong enough to stand on its own. Fans around the world have responded in one voice. Respect. From homemade signs to heartfelt messages, the WWE Universe has turned grief into gratitude. Gratitude for the matches. Gratitude for the moments. Gratitude for the nights Charlotte Flair made wrestling feel larger than life. Even fans who once booed her character now applaud the woman behind it. Because greatness, real greatness, eventually silences even the loudest critics. And let us talk about Ric Flair for a moment. A legend who knows better than anyone how unforgiving this industry can be. A father who watched his daughter surpass expectations and carve out her own throne. The wrestling world does not just mourn Charlotte Flair, the superstar. It mourns Charlotte Flair, the daughter, the friend, the mentor. Triple H ended his message with a promise. WWE will never forget. And more importantly, WWE will never stop pushing forward in her honor. New stars will rise. New champions will be crowned. But the shadow of Charlotte Flair will always be there, reminding everyone what excellence truly looks like. This is not the end of her story. Every time a woman headlines a major event, every time a championship match steals the show, every time a superstar refuses to settle for good enough, Charlotte Flair's influence will be felt. That is legacy, not just wins and titles, but inspiration that outlives the moment. So as fans, as viewers, as members of the WWE Extreme family, this is our role. Remember her matches. Celebrate her impact. Demand greatness from those who follow. Because that is what Charlotte Flair would have wanted. Not tears forever, but progress, strength, and fearlessness. Triple H did not just mourn a loss. He issued a challenge to WWE, a challenge to the locker room, and a challenge to all of us watching. Do not let this moment fade. Let fuel the future. And let us talk about Ric Flair for a moment. A legend who knows better than anyone how unforgiving this industry can be. A father who watched his daughter surpass expectations and carve out her own throne. Thank you for watching WWE Extreme Family.